Captain Jeho Kim stood on the bridge of the Earth exploratory vessel Resilience, his eyes fixed on the strange object that had appeared near Mars. It was unlike anything humans had ever built, smooth, silver, and shaped like a perfect sphere. "Scan it again," Jeho ordered, his voice steady despite the tension in the air. His second-in-command, Ta, tapped on the control panel. "No weapons detected, Captain. But it's giving off energy readings I've never seen before." The sphere suddenly glowed with a soft blue light, and all the screens on the bridge lit up with the same color. Then, a voice filled the room. It spoke in perfect Korean, which made everyone's eyes widen. "Greetings, people of Earth. We are the Galactic Council, a union of 127 intelligent species across the stars. We have been watching your planet and believe you are ready to join our community." Jeho looked at his crew, their faces showing a mix of shock and excitement. First contact. After all these years of searching the stars, aliens had found them first. The voice continued, "We invite you to send 2 representatives to our central station. They will learn about our ways and speak for your planet." When the message ended, Earth went wild. Every news channel, every social media site talked about nothing else. Leaders from all countries met to decide who would go. After much debate, they chose Captain Jeho Kim because of his calm nature and experience in space. "You need a second person," the World Council told Jeho. "Someone who knows about life and how it works." Jeho knew exactly who to pick. Dr. Soo-min Park was the best biologist on Earth. She had studied life forms in the harshest places, deep oceans, frozen lands, and hot deserts. If anyone could understand alien life, it was her. Soo-min was in her lab when Jeho called her. She was a small woman with short black hair and bright eyes that missed nothing. "Me, go to an alien council?" she asked, surprised. "Who better?" Jeho replied. "You understand life better than anyone I know." Soo-min thought about all the strange creatures she had studied, creatures that lived in acid, in ice without oxygen. "I'll do it," she said finally. Neither Jeho nor Soo-min knew that their home planet was special. In the language of the Galactic Council, Earth would be called a death world, a planet so dangerous that most alien species could not survive there. Earth's gravity was stronger than most inhabited planets. Its weather changed wildly, from burning hot to freezing cold. It had large oceans that created storms. Worst of all, it was filled with predators and tiny living things that could cause disease. And the humans who evolved on this deadly planet, they were built to survive it all. A month later, Jeho and Soo-min sat in a small ship that would take them to the council station. They had trained hard, learning what little they could about alien cultures from the information the council had sent. "Are you ready?" Jeho asked as their ship prepared to leave Earth's orbit. Soo-min looked at the blue planet below them. "As ready as I'll ever be," she said. "I just hope we make a good impression." The ship's engines hummed louder, and Earth grew smaller behind them. Ahead lay the stars and the Galactic Council waiting to meet the representatives of a planet they didn't yet realize was one of the most dangerous in the known universe. Neither human knew that their natural abilities, their strength, their endurance, their quick reactions, even their immune systems, would seem like superpowers to the aliens they were about to meet. They didn't know that simply by walking into a room, they would terrify beings from safer, gentler worlds. They were about to change the galaxy forever. After 3 weeks in space, Jeho and Soo-min saw it. The Harmony Sphere, the Galactic Council station, looked like a giant glass ball with rings around it, bigger than any space station humans had ever built. "It's beautiful," Soo-min said, pressing her hand against the window. Their small ship moved toward a glowing opening in the station's side. As they landed, Jeho checked his uniform one last time. "Remember," he said, "we represent all of Earth. Let's make a good first impression." The ship's door opened with a soft hiss. The air that came in smelled sweet, like flowers. Jeho stepped out first, then offered his hand to Sumin. Waiting for them was a tall, thin creature with pale blue skin. It had 4 arms and large, round eyes that blinked sideways. This was Ambassador Tulax. "Welcome to Harmony Sphere," Tulax said in a soft voice. "I am your guide during your stay." Jai-Ho bowed slightly. "Thank you for this honor. I am Captain Jae-Ho Kim, and this is Dr. Sumin Park." Tulax stepped back suddenly when Jae-Ho moved forward to shake hands. The ambassador's eyes widened. "Is something wrong?" Sumin asked. No, Tulax said quickly. "Your speed of movement is surprising. Please, follow me slowly." As they walked through the station, both humans noticed something strange. They felt lighter, as if they weren't fully touching the ground. "The gravity here," Jai-Ho began. "Yes, it is set to galactic standard," Tulax explained. "Is it uncomfortable for you?" "It's much lighter than what we're used to," Sumin said. She accidentally pushed off too hard with her next step and nearly floated. Tulax watched with growing concern. "Perhaps you need time to adjust. Most species find standard gravity quite comfortable." They passed other aliens in the hallways. Some looked almost like humans, but with different colors or extra limbs. Others were completely different, floating jellyfish-like creatures, beings made of what looked like stone, and small furry things that scurried along the walls. All of them moved away when the humans passed by. "Everyone seems nervous," Jai-Ho said quietly to Sumin. "I noticed that too," she replied. "Maybe they haven't seen humans before." Tulax led them to a large room with medical equipment. Before meeting the council, all new species must have a health check. It is for everyone's safety. 3 alien doctors waited for them. They wore clear suits that covered their bodies completely. "Please stand still," one doctor said, pointing a scanner at Jai-Ho. The machine made a high beeping sound. The doctors looked at each other. "Is there a problem?" Jai-Ho asked. "Your bone density," the doctor said. "It is extremely high. And your muscle structure." The doctor scanning Sumin suddenly stepped back. "This can't be right. Your immune system is incredibly aggressive." "Is that bad?" Sumin asked. The doctors whispered to each other. Tulax's skin changed from blue to a pale white color. "Your bodies," Tulax said carefully, "are very different from most council species. Your planet must have unusual conditions." Jai-Ho smiled, not understanding the growing fear in the room. "Earth has a bit of everything. Oceans, deserts, mountains, forests. It can be tough sometimes, but it's home." One of the doctors dropped a tool. The sound echoed in the quiet room. "What is the gravitational pull of your planet?" a doctor asked. "About 9.8 meters per second squared," Sumin answered. The room went completely silent. "And the temperature range?" another doctor asked. "It varies," Jai-Ho said, "from about -50 degrees Celsius in the coldest places to +50 in the hottest. Most people live in areas between 0 and 40 degrees. Tulax's 4 hands trembled slightly. "And do you have predatory animals on Earth?" Jai-Ho laughed. "Of course. Thousands of species." The doctors looked at each other again. One tapped something into a device. An alarm started to sound somewhere in the distance. "What's happening?" Sumin asked. "Nothing to worry about," Tulax said, but its voice shook. "The council will want to hear about your interesting planet very soon." As they left the medical room, Jai-Ho noticed guards had appeared in the hallway. They weren't pointing weapons at the humans, but their hands stayed close to them. Something was wrong, but Jai-Ho couldn't figure out what. They had only answered simple questions about Earth. What they didn't know was that the council had just classified their home as something terrifying, a Class 12 death world. That evening, Jai-Ho and Sumin were invited to a welcome banquet. The large hall was filled with beings from across the galaxy. Soft music played from floating Orcs. Tables held strange foods in all colors. "Remember to be careful," Jai-Ho whispered to Sumin as they entered. We don't want to offend anyone. Tulax guided them to a table where important-looking aliens sat. One had scales that shimmered like rainbows. Another looked like a tall plant with eyes on its leaves. "These are council representatives," Tulax said. "They are eager to meet you." The plant-like alien spoke first. "We understand your world has many different ecosystems." "Yes," Sumin smiled. "I'm a biologist. I study life in all these places. Just last year, I spent 3 months in the Amazon rainforest." "Alone?" asked the scaled alien, leaning forward. "Mostly. I had a guide for the first week." The aliens looked at each other with what seemed like shock. "And what did you eat there?" the plant alien asked. Jai-Ho jumped in. "Humans can eat almost anything. We've adapted to use plants, fruits, meat." "Meat?" Several aliens gasped at once. "Yes," Sumin said, confused by their reaction. "Many humans eat meat. Not all, but many." The table went quiet. Tulax quickly changed the subject. "Perhaps our guests would like to try some council delicacies." Servers brought plates of strange foods. One plate held what looked like glowing blue jelly. Another had small purple fruits. "This fruit is a rare delicacy," Tulax explained. "It contains a mild toxin that creates a pleasant sensation for most species. Perhaps too strong for your first visit." "Oh, I'm sure it's fine," Sumin said, taking one and biting into it before anyone could stop her. The aliens watched in horror, but Sumin just smiled. "It's good. A bit like a spicy plum." "Impossible," whispered the scaled alien. "That toxin would paralyze most beings." Jai-Ho tried to lighten the mood. "Earth foods can be pretty strong too. We have peppers so hot they can make you cry." "Your food attacks you?" a small furry alien asked. No, Jai-Ho laughed. "We eat them because we enjoy the sensation." This didn't seem to help. The aliens only looked more disturbed. In the center of the hall stood a beautiful crystal statue. It twisted up toward the ceiling, thin as paper in some places. "What is that?" Sumin asked, walking toward it. "Our sacred harmony crystal," Tulax said proudly. "It represents the delicate balance of all life in the galaxy. It is very fragile, like most beautiful things." Sumin reached out to touch it gently. But in the low gravity, her movement was faster than she intended. Her finger pressed against the crystal harder than she meant to. A small piece broke off. The room went silent. Every alien stared at her. "I'm so sorry," Sumin said, horrified. "I didn't mean to." She broke it with one finger. Someone whispered. "How strong are they?" Another voice asked. Jai-Ho quickly stepped forward. "Please accept our deepest apologies. We're still adjusting to your gravity. On Earth, we would need much more force to break something." "How much force?" the plant alien asked. Jai-Ho thought about how to explain. "Well, on Earth we have storms with winds that can knock down trees. Buildings need to withstand earthquakes that shake the ground. We're used to stronger conditions." A server dropped a tray of drinks. The crash made several aliens jump. "You live through ground shakes?" the scaled alien asked. "And air violence that destroys plant life?" "Yes," Jai-Ho said. "Also floods, blizzards, heat waves." With each word, the aliens seemed to grow more nervous. Some began to leave the banquet. Tulax's skin had turned almost white now. "Perhaps we should end tonight's gathering early. Our guests must be tired from their journey." As they were led back to their rooms, Jai-Ho and Sumin noticed more guards in the hallways. "Did I cause a serious problem?" Sumin asked quietly. "I don't think so," Jai-Ho replied. "But something strange is happening. These aliens seem afraid of normal things." What they didn't realize was that to the council species, nothing about Earth was normal. And the two humans, with their strong bodies and casual talk of surviving disasters, were the most terrifying things they had ever seen. While Jai-Ho and Su-min slept in their rooms, an emergency meeting was taking place in a secure part of the station. "The data is clear," said Chief Scientist Volmar. "A tall alien with skin like polished stone. Earth is a Class 12 death world, the highest classification we have." Around the table sat members of the Council's Science Division. Screens showed images of Earth, its storms, volcanoes, and wild animals. "Look at these readings," Volmar continued. "Their gravity is 1.5 times our standard. Their temperature ranges are extreme, and their planet is 70% covered in water. Not to mention the predators," added another scientist. "Their oceans have creatures with multiple rows of teeth. Their lands have animals that can run faster than our speediest vehicles." Ambassador Tulak stood nervously at the edge of the room. "And the humans themselves, how dangerous are they?" Volmar touched a screen, showing scans of Jai-Ho and Su-min. "Their bones are nearly unbreakable by our standards. Their muscles can generate forces that would tear most of us apart. And their immune systems," Volmar paused. "They are walking battlefields. Their bodies contain billions of microorganisms that they live with harmlessly. If those microbes entered our bodies, entire species could be wiped out." The room went quiet. "What do we do?" asked the council member. "Quarantine their planet, or try to change it," suggested another. "We could offer to fix Earth, make it safer." "They would never agree," Tulak said. "They speak of their deadly world with pride." In another part of the station, Jai-Ho woke up early. Unable to sleep in the strange place, he decided to explore. The halls were quiet. Most aliens were still resting. He found his way to a public information center where screens showed data about different worlds. Using the simple instructions Tulak had given them, he searched for information about council species. What he found shocked him. Most council races came from planets with low gravity, mild temperatures, and few natural disasters. Many had no large predators. Their bodies were adapted for comfort, not survival. "Su-min needs to see this," he whispered. Back in their rooms, he woke her up. "I think I know why everyone is acting strange around us. Look at this." Su-min's eyes widened as she read the data. "Their worlds are like paradise gardens. No wonder they're scared of us. We must seem like monsters to them." Just then, their door opened. Tulak entered, looking worried. "Good morning," Jai-Ho said. "We were just learning about council worlds." "And we have been learning about yours," Tulak replied. "The science division has concerns." "What kind of concerns?" Su-min asked. "Earth has been classified as a Class 12 death world, the most dangerous category of planet. Some council members believe it may be too risky to allow free contact with your species." Jai-Ho stood up quickly, making Tulak step back. "That's ridiculous. Humans aren't dangerous. We want peaceful relations." "I believe you," Tulak said, "but others are not convinced. There is a faction, led by Security Director Drav, who believes Earth should be isolated, or worse." "Worse?" Su-min asked. "What does that mean?" Tulak's skin darkened. "Drav suggests that Earth is too dangerous to exist as it is. He proposes terraforming your planet to make it safer. Change our entire planet." Jai-Ho's voice rose. "That's our home." "Lower your voice, please," Tulak said nervously. "Your intensity is frightening." Jai-Ho took a deep breath. "I'm sorry, but we can't let this happen. We need to change how the council sees Earth." "How?" Su-min asked. "We need to show them that our strength, our adaptability, can be helpful, not scary. That growing up on a death world has made us good problem solvers." Tulak looked doubtful. "The full council meets tomorrow. You will be allowed to speak, but be careful. Director Drav's security forces are watching you closely." After Tulak left, Jai-Ho turned to Su-min. "We need a plan, something to show them that being from a death world isn't a threat, it's an advantage." What they didn't know was that their room was being monitored. Director Drav watched them on a screen, his yellow eyes narrowing. "Prepare the isolation protocols," he told his assistant. "These Deathworlders must not be allowed to influence the Council. Their planet is too dangerous to join our peaceful galaxy." The next morning, Jai-Ho and Su-Min prepared for the Council meeting. They wore their formal Earth uniforms and practiced speaking calmly and moving slowly. "Remember," Jai-Ho said, "no sudden movements. No raised voices." Su-Min nodded. "We need to show them we're not monsters." Chulax arrived to escort them to the Grand Council chamber. As they walked, the ambassador seemed nervous. "The entire council will be watching," Chulax said. "All 127 species. Try to appear gentle." The Grand Council chamber was huge. Thousands of seats rose in circles around a center platform. Each seat held an alien representative. Some looked almost human. Others were completely strange, clouds of gas, floating crystals, or things that glowed and changed shape. Jai-Ho and Su-Min stood on the center platform. Above them, on a high podium, sat the 7 high counselors. Director Drav was among them, his yellow eyes watching the humans coldly. "Representatives of Earth," began the head counselor, a tall blue being with 6 arms. "You are here to speak about your world. The Council has concerns about Earth's classification as a Class 12 death world." Jai-Ho stepped forward slowly. "Thank you, honored counselors. We understand your concerns. Earth is different from most Council worlds. But different does not mean dangerous." He motioned to Su-Min, who pressed a button on a small device. A hologram appeared above them, showing Earth, its blue oceans, green forests, and white clouds. "Our world shaped us to be adaptable," Jai-Ho continued. "Yes, we are physically stronger than many species here, but strength can protect as well as harm." The council members whispered among themselves. Many looked unconvinced. Su-Min began to speak. "As a biologist, I study life's ability to adapt. Earth's challenges forced us to become problem solvers. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the chamber. Red lights flashed. "Security breach in Biological Research Section," a voice announced. "Dangerous specimen escaped. All beams remain in place." The council erupted in panic. Some representatives fled their seats. Others froze in fear. Then the doors to the chamber burst open. A creature charged in, larger than a bear, covered in thick plates like armor, with 6 legs and razor-sharp claws. It roared, showing rows of teeth. "A Chronax!" Someone screamed. "It will kill us all." The security guards fired stun weapons, but the blasts bounced off the creature's thick hide. It charged toward the center of the chamber, straight at the High Counselor's podium. Without thinking, Su-Min ran forward. In Earth's gravity, she would have been careful. But in the station's lighter gravity, she moved faster than any alien could, jumping high and landing on the creature's back. The Chronax roared and tried to throw her off. But Su-Min held on, wrapping her arms around its thick neck. She squeezed, using all her human strength. The council watched in shock as this small woman wrestled with a beast that could tear through metal. "She'll be killed," Chulax cried. But Jai-Ho knew better. "No, she won't." The Chronax began to slow down as Su-Min maintained her hold. She wasn't trying to harm it, just restrain it. After a minute of struggle, the creature stopped fighting and dropped to the floor, unable to breathe properly in her grip. Security teams rushed in with stronger restraints. Su-Min let go and stepped back, breathing hard but unharmed. The chamber was completely silent. Every alien stared at her. "I'm sorry for the disruption," she said quietly. "Is everyone okay?" Director Drav stood up slowly. "You subdued a Chronax with your bare hands, a creature that can tear through reinforced doors." Jai-Ho moved to stand beside Su-Min. "On Earth, we learn to handle dangerous situations. It's part of who we are." The head counselor looked down at them with new eyes. "Perhaps we have misjudged you, humans. You're Abilities are indeed frightening, but today, they save many lives. The mood in the chamber had changed. The fear was still there, but now mixed with something new. Respect. What had started as a disaster had become a demonstration of what humans could offer, not just strength, but the courage to use that strength to protect others. As guards led the sedated Kronax away, Jai-Ho realized this was the turning point they needed. Now they had to use it wisely. Word spread quickly through the Harmony sphere. The humans had subdued a Kronax with bare hands. The story grew with each telling. Soon some aliens were saying Su-Min had killed the beast with one finger. The day after the council meeting, Jai-Ho and Su-Min found themselves receiving visitors. Not just Tulax, but representatives from several worlds. "The science division requests your presence," said a thin alien with green skin. "We have questions." Jai-Ho looked at Su-Min. This was their chance to show Earth in a better light. "We would be happy to help," Jai-Ho replied. They were taken to a large laboratory. Inside, a team of alien scientists waited with various testing equipment. "We wish to understand human capabilities," explained the lead scientist, Mira. Unlike the others, she seemed more curious than afraid. "Would you agree to some tests?" "What kind of tests?" Su-Min asked. "Physical abilities, problem solving, adaptability." Jai-Ho nodded. "We agree, as long as the tests are safe." The first test measured strength. Jai-Ho was asked to lift weights that got heavier and heavier. What would have been impossible for most council species, he lifted with ease. "Remarkable," Mira noted. "Your muscles evolved under high-gravity conditions." Next came endurance tests. Su-Min ran on a treadmill for an hour without tiring. The scientists watched in amazement. "Most species would collapse after 10 minutes, one whispered. Then came temperature tests. The humans were placed in chambers that got very hot, then very cold. They were uncomfortable, but handled it well. "On Earth, we have places where it snows and places where it's like a desert," Su-Min explained. "Humans live in both." The scientists took notes quickly. The most interesting test involved problem solving. The humans were given puzzles that seemed to have no solution, but instead of giving up, they tried new approaches. "Interesting," Mira said. "You don't follow just one path. You look for alternatives. When you live on a dangerous world," Jai-Ho explained, "you learn to think around problems. If one solution fails, you find another, or you don't survive." As the day went on, more aliens came to watch the tests. Among them were military officers from several worlds. During a break, one officer approached Jai-Ho. He was tall with red skin and wore a uniform with many badges. "I am General Krell of the Council Defense Force," he said. "Your abilities are impressive." "Thank you," Jai-Ho replied carefully. "Our peacekeepers face many challenges: pirates in the outer systems, dangerous wildlife on frontier worlds. We lack personnel with your physical capabilities." Jai-Ho understood what wasn't being said. "Are you suggesting humans could serve as peacekeepers?" Krell nodded slowly. "The very traits that make your kind frightening could make you excellent protectors." This was what Jai-Ho had hoped for, a way to show human strength as a benefit, not a threat. Later, as they returned to their rooms, Su-Min was thoughtful. "Did you notice?" she asked. "They're starting to see us differently, still with fear, but also with interest." "Yes," Jai-Ho agreed. "And General Krell's offer could be important. If humans join their peacekeeping forces, it would show we can be trusted." Tulax was waiting for them. The ambassador's skin had a healthier blue color now. "You've made quite an impression," Tulax said. "The council is divided about Earth. Some still fear you, but others see potential." "What about Director Drav?" Jai-Ho asked. Tulax's color darkened slightly. "He still believes Deathworlders are too dangerous, but he is more careful now. Your actions with the Kronax made others question his views." "What happens next?" Su-Min asked. "Tomorrow, A special council session will vote on Earth's status. You will be allowed to speak again. Tulax hesitated. But be careful. Director Drav will not give up easily. He has supporters who share his fear of Deathworlders. After Tulax left, Jeho looked out the window at the stars. We're making progress, he said. But we still need to convince them that Earth deserves a place in the galaxy. What they didn't know was that the tests they had just completed were being watched by many more eyes than they realized. Across the station, opinions about the Deathworlders were changing, for better and for worse. The next day, Jeho woke early. Today's vote would decide Earth's future in the galaxy. He found a message waiting from Tulax. Meet me in the garden level. Important information to share. The garden level was a beautiful place with plants from hundreds of worlds. Jeho found Tulax beside a small blue tree. Thank you for coming, Tulax said quietly. The council is dividing into groups over Earth. What groups? Jeho asked. Those who see humans as dangerous and want Earth isolated. Those who see potential benefits from working with you, and those who are undecided. Which group is winning? It's very close, Tulax said. Director Drav leads the opposition. He has powerful friends, but your demonstration yesterday impressed many. As they talked, Su-Min joined them. She had spent the morning in the station's library, learning about council species. I found something interesting, she said. Many worlds in the council suffered from problems they couldn't solve. Diseases, food shortages, even small natural disasters they couldn't handle. That's right, Tulax confirmed. Many species never developed strong immune systems or the ability to adapt quickly. It's why biotechnology and medicine are so important to us. Jeho had an idea. What if we offered Earth's biological diversity as a resource? Our plants, our medicines, our adaptive technologies. That could win support, Tulax said. But you'll need to be careful. Director Drav will fight any plan that increases human influence. Later that day, Jeho and Su-Min met with representatives from several worlds. Some were scientists interested in Earth biology. Others were military leaders like General Krell, interested in human strength and endurance. Jeho spoke of trade possibilities, of how Earth's challenges had created unique solutions. Su-Min explained how Earth's biodiversity could help develop new medicines and crops. With each meeting, they gained supporters. But Director Drav was working too, spreading fear about the dangerous Deathworlders who would bring chaos to the peaceful galaxy. That evening, as they prepared for the next day's vote, an unexpected visitor came to their rooms. Mira, the lead scientist from yesterday's tests. I shouldn't be here, she said nervously. But you need to know. Director Drav isn't just afraid of humans. He plans to sabotage your position. How? Jeho asked. He's arranged for false evidence to be presented tomorrow. It will show humans starting wars, destroying environments, behaving like monsters. That's not true, Su-Min said. Yes, humans have made mistakes, but we've also done good things. Drav doesn't care about truth, Mira said. He believes Deathworlders are a threat that must be eliminated, not just isolated, but eliminated. Jeho felt cold. He wants to harm Earth. His faction has technology that could change a planet's atmosphere, make it uninhabitable for its native species. Su-Min's face paled. Billions would die. I don't think the council would approve such action, Mira said. But Drav is powerful and afraid. That makes him dangerous. We need proof of his plans, Jeho said. Something to show the council. Mira hesitated. His personal files would contain evidence. They're stored in the security center, but no one can access that without authorization. Jeho looked at Su-Min. No one from the council. Maybe, but humans are good at solving problems. After Mira left, they made a plan. Breaking into the security center would be difficult and dangerous. If caught, they would confirm every fear Drav had spread about humans. We have no choice, Jeho said. Not if Earth is in danger. Su-Min nodded. When do we go? Tonight. We'll use what makes us Deathworlders: our strength, our speed, our ability to adapt to dangerous situations. What they didn't know was that they were being watched. Director Drav had placed monitoring devices in their rooms. He listened to their plan with a cold smile. "Perfect," he said to his assistant. "Let them break in. When they're caught, the Council will see the truth about these dangerous creatures. And my solution will be the only option." The trap was set. But Drav had made one mistake. He had never faced humans before. And humans from a death world were very, very good at surviving traps. Late that night, Jai-Ho and Su-Min moved through the quiet halls of Harmony Sphere. Most aliens were in their sleep cycles. The station's lights were dimmed to a soft glow. "The security center is 2 levels down," Jai-Ho whispered, checking the map Mira had given them. They wore dark clothes and moved carefully in the low gravity. Years of living on Earth made their reactions quick and their steps sure, even in strange conditions. "Guards ahead," Su-Min warned. 2 security officers stood at a junction. They looked bored, not expecting trouble in the peaceful station. Jai-Ho pointed to a side passage. "We'll go around." They found an air vent large enough for them to crawl through. On Earth, such spaces would be tight, but in the station's lighter gravity, they moved easily. "The security center should be just ahead," Jai-Ho said as they emerged from the vent. The center's door had a lock that required special access. But Mira had told them about a weakness. The station's systems were designed to be gentle, not strong. They were built by species that had never needed to defend against determined intruders. Su-Min examined the doorframe. "I think I can force it." She pressed her fingers into a small gap and pulled. The metal bent slightly, then more. With a soft click, the lock failed. Inside, rows of screens showed different parts of the station. No one was there. The night shift guards were making rounds elsewhere. "Drav's files will be in the main system," Jai-Ho said, sitting at a terminal. "Let's see what Earth's dangerous criminals can do." He began working on the computer. Earth might be a death world, but its people were also creative. Jai-Ho had trained in computer systems before becoming a captain. "Found something," he said after a few minutes. "Files labeled Death World Containment Plan." The files were shocking. Drav had detailed plans to isolate Earth behind a blockade. Worse, he had designs for orbital platforms that could release chemicals into Earth's atmosphere, slowly making it uninhabitable for humans, but perfect for another species he wanted to transplant there. "We need to copy this," Su-Min said. As Jai-Ho downloaded the files, alarms suddenly blared. Red lights flashed. "Emergency in levels 5 through 8, announced a voice. "All beings evacuate immediately. Life support systems failing." They looked at each other in confusion. Their break-in shouldn't have triggered station-wide alarms. "This isn't about us," Jai-Ho realized. "Something else is happening." They left the security center and found chaos in the hallways. Aliens ran in panic, some carrying belongings, others helping those who couldn't move quickly. "What's happening?" Jai-Ho asked a passing station worker. "The environmental systems are failing. Oxygen levels dropping in the residential sections. Temperature rising to dangerous levels." Jai-Ho and Su-Min exchanged looks. This was too convenient. "Drav," Su-Min said. "He's creating a crisis." To prove his point, Jai-Ho agreed that Deathworlders bring chaos. They pushed against the crowd, heading toward the Environmental Control Center. When they arrived, they found security guards blocking the entrance. "No access," one said. "Engineers are working on the problem." But through the door, Jai-Ho could see that the room was empty. No engineers were inside. "Something's wrong," he told Su-Min. "The control room is abandoned." Without warning, an explosion shook the station. People screamed. The guards ran toward the sound, leaving the door unguarded. "Now," Jai-Ho said. They rushed into the control room. The main console showed critical warnings everywhere. Life support was shutting down section by section. "Can you fix it?" Su Min asked. Jai-Ho studied the controls. These aren't technical failures. Someone has deliberately sabotaged the system. Look, the commands are still in the log. As he worked to restore the systems, the station-wide broadcast system suddenly activated. Director Drav's voice filled every room. Attention all beings. The station has been compromised by human sabotage. The Deathworlders have shown their true nature. For your safety, all security forces are authorized to detain or eliminate the human threat. Jai-Ho looked at Su Min. He's framing us. While we're in the control room, she added, perfect evidence of our guilt. They were trapped. And now, every being on the station would see them as deadly enemies. What do we do? Su Min asked. Jai-Ho's face hardened. What Deathworlders do best. We survive, and we fight back. We need to fix the life support systems first, Jai-Ho said, fingers moving quickly over the control panels. People will die if we don't. Su Min nodded. I'll watch the door. As Jai-Ho worked, he realized something. The sabotage isn't that complex. It's like Drav didn't expect anyone to check the systems. He's used to species that panic easily, Su Min said, not Deathworlders who stay calm in a crisis. One by one, Jai-Ho restored oxygen to the affected sections. The temperature began to normalize, but they knew security forces would arrive soon. We need to broadcast the truth, Jai-Ho said. Show everyone Drav's real plans. The station's communication system was in the same room. Jai-Ho connected the files they had stolen to the broadcast equipment. This is Captain Jai-Ho Kim of Earth, he said into the microphone. The station crisis was engineered by Director Drav. We have proof of his plans to not only frame humans but to attack Earth itself. Throughout the station, screens showed Drav's secret files, his plans to change Earth's atmosphere, his orders to create a false emergency. We came in peace, Jai-Ho continued. We only want Earth to join the galactic community as equals. Judge us by our actions, not by Drav's fear. As he finished speaking, the door burst open. Security forces rushed in, weapons ready. Behind them stood Director Drav, his yellow eyes burning with anger. Arrest them, Drav ordered. They attacked the station. They saved us, came a voice from behind him. Tulak stepped forward, followed by Mira, General Krell, and several council members. We've been monitoring the situation, Tulak said. The humans restored life support while you were calling for their execution. And we've seen your plans, added Krell, holding up a datapad showing Drav's files. Planning to attack a newly discovered world. That violates our most basic laws. Drav's face twisted with rage. You don't understand. They're Deathworlders. They'll bring their violence to our peaceful galaxy. The only one bringing violence to date is you, Mira said quietly. Security officers looked at each other, uncertain. Then they lowered their weapons and turned toward Drav. Director Drav, said the lead officer, you are under arrest for endangering the station and conspiracy against a potential member world. As Drav was led away, screaming about the dangers of Deathworlders, Tulax approached the humans. The emergency council session will begin in 1 hour, the ambassador said. After today's events, I think you'll find the mood has changed. The Grand Council chamber was packed. Every representative wanted to witness this historic meeting. When Jai-Ho and Su Min entered, there was no fear in the room. Instead, they were greeted with something new: respect. The head counselor spoke first. Today we have seen both the worst and the best of how different species act under pressure. Director Drav let fear guide his actions. The humans from Earth chose to save lives, even when accused of crimes they didn't commit. Jai-Ho stepped forward. Earth doesn't ask for special treatment. We know we're different. Our world made us strong, fast, and adaptable. But it also taught us to protect what matters. We propose a new classification, Su Min added. Not Death World, but Guardian World. A place whose people have the strength to defend those who need protection. The council debated for hours. Some still had concerns about humans, but most had been impressed by their actions during the crisis. Finally, the head counselor announced the decision. Earth will be admitted to the Galactic Council with special status as a guardian world. Furthermore, we will establish a training program where volunteer species can learn from humans about adaptation and resilience. 3 months later, Jai-Ho and Su-Min stood at Earth's spaceport, watching as the first group of alien diplomats prepared to descend to the planet's surface. They still looked nervous, Su-Min said with a smile. "Well, we did warn them about the thunderstorms forecast for today," Jai-Ho replied. "And I'm still not sure they believe us about house cats." "Do you think they'll ever get used to Earth?" Jai-Ho looked up at the sky, where more ships from the Council were arriving each day. Some carried diplomats, other scientists eager to study Earth's unique biology. A few even held the first alien volunteers for the Guardian training program. "They'll adapt," he said. "Maybe not as well as Deathworlders, but they'll learn. And we'll be there to help them." The galaxy would never be the same. The species that had once been the most feared had become the most valued. The protectors from the Death World called Earth.